what's going on, everybody? Happy New Year. I'm coming to you today with my Hobby New Year's 2025 resolutions. I did a video like this last year. I see some other YouTube content creators do similar videos, and I find them very enjoyable. And it helps us right as we start the year to kind of regroup and refocus on what's important to us. And, I think part of it too, it's fun to look back on the year prior, see, did I actually meet my goals and objectives for 2024? How did I do? We're going to get into that in this video. And then we're going to go into 2025. I've got a couple of those resolutions that are actually going to be the exact same as they were last year. But you're going to find a bunch of them are different. I try to keep it to 5 to make sure that the video doesn't go too long. However, today I did want to also make a little bit of an announcement here on the channel, a little bit of a life update. After nearly 15 years of living in the Caribbean, my family and I have decided to move back to Ohio from the Cincinnati area. You can see I'm wearing a Reds hat. And we actually left Cincinnati in 2008, and we lived away for a long period of time between Northeast Ohio and then the lake effect snow and miserable cold and gray clouds and all that kind of prompted us about a year and a half later to make a radical, drastic move and move to the Caribbean. So we lived in St. Thomas in the U.S. Virgin Islands for about 10 years. And then December 31st, 2020, we closed on a house in Puerto Rico. And we moved to Puerto Rico in the spring of 2021. Absolutely love it there. Still have the house there. Actually, I'm going to be back in Puerto Rico next week. Not going to change the name of the channel, Island Card Collector. Do have a lot of love for Puerto Rico. The people, the passion that they have for baseball is really second to none. So again, I don't feel like it warrants a channel name update, but just know that if you see me in bundled up in a little bit warmer clothes or things like that. Also, the background that you see here, this is kind of a temporary wall thing that I have. So part of our move to Ohio, back to the Cincinnati area, was we actually built a house. So built a house and just actually moved my whole collection into the basement of this new house. And I think that's probably prompting some of my realization on things that need to change. So we're going to get into that, here in the video a bit. But I notice as I watch other YouTube creators, everybody has life, right? Life is first and foremost family and, friends and work and other priorities. So, with this channel, I do want to produce and provide more content. Hopefully I can grow the channel this year. Just hit 250 subscribers. Certainly would love to see that go to 500, and then from there we'll see what happens. But I think focusing the content and providing different content in the new year is going to be, I think you'll find that to be a welcome change. Obviously looking for feedback, and you can drop comments down below as well. And that's pretty much it. So again, back in Ohio, back in the Cincinnati area, be able to go to a lot more baseball games now, which is really exciting. By the way, I am excited. The World Baseball Classic, and I know this is over a year away, but I love the WBC, and they're actually bringing games back to Puerto Rico in March of 2026. So anybody looking for a fun little winter getaway in the cold of March 2026, you might want to book a ticket and grab a hotel or Airbnb down in the beautiful island of Puerto Rico. I would highly recommend it. Watching baseball there, it's just the passion of the crowd, and it's just a party atmosphere. It's just so much fun. It's almost more like a NFL atmosphere at a baseball game, and I don't mean that in a bad way, because you can have like the loud, rowdy, drunk connotation. People getting kicked out of games, and none of that, none of the negative, but think about the energy and the excitement of an NFL crowd. Put that into a baseball setting, and then put the World Baseball Classic, especially if you can catch a game with the Puerto Rican national team. I just can't wait. The WBC was there, I think the time before last time they played the games in Miami for that pod, but I'm excited to catch a WBC game in Puerto Rico for the first time. All that being said, I think I've done enough talking and preambling, so let's just get into the resolutions. All right, before I get into the 2025 hobby resolutions, I wanted to take a brief look back at 2024. So I'm just going to talk through these briefly. A couple of these are actually going to repeat, and you'll see that. But my resolution number one last year, 2024, was to not buy any new retail product. I would say I bought less retail product in 2024 than I did in 2023. However, I bought too much, and we'll get into that here in a bit. Resolution number two was to complete my Topps, specifically Pete Rose Player Era graded card run. Mission accomplished. Rest in peace to Charlie Hustle. I did a video recently. You can go check that out on my channel, where I actually laid out the entire player run in tribute to Pete shortly after his passing. So more on that in that video, but check the box on that. It's always a good feeling to complete something. I did since kind of shift into some additional Donruss, Fleer, and O-Pee-Chee because there are still some playing days cards of the Hit King that I can still go after, but not exactly the priority that it was last year, because that was mission accomplished. My third resolution last year, totally exceeded, totally blew it out of the water, was to buy the 1959 and the 1960 Mickey Mantle cards, graded cards. If you watch my channel, you would know that I'm collecting a graded playing days set of Mickey Mantle cards. That is a very expensive proposition. Started with 1969. I've worked my way back. Actually, I wanted to get 60 and 59. I actually went ahead and got the 58, and I went ahead and got the 57. So guys, I'm on 1956, and let me tell you, 56 and back, those are some big boy cards. And I mean, I could get a low grade, 56, 55, but you get 54 and back. Yeah, I don't know if I'm ever going to complete that, but check the box on resolution number 3 for 2024, which was awesome. Resolution number 4 was to finish the 1971 Topps complete set and do a graded set of 1964 Topps Giants. So, update with that. I did get a few more 71 Topps. The set's not that complete. So you'll see more of that as I get into the 2025. And then the 64 Topps Giants. I don't think I did anything with that in 2024. It would be nice to finish that at some point. I got about half of the set. But I don't think it's really the priority that it was prior. And then the last one I had was to essentially downsize my collection, sell off more of it. I would say that I'll half check that one. I'll put a half check mark on there because I did in late November and early December after the move. We got everything into the new house here. I've been selling stuff, right? And I'm actually going to link to my eBay account here in the description of this video. I've got a lot of auctions going, over 40 auctions going right now, between auctions and buy now listings. And if you want to shoot me an offer and put in the comment that you love the Island Card Collector channel, I'll hook you up. And just trying to move some product and downsize that collection right now. So that's in progress. I would say a very late start in the year, but I have made some progress. All right, so now, finally, thank you for your patience. We're going to get into the 2025 resolutions. Number 1, downsize collection. I just talked about this, and I'm still going to do it. I just have to accelerate the pace of that downsizing. I have way too much stuff. Actually, it's going to tie into number 2 as well with some organization. Don't want to give that away a little too early here, but in terms of downsizing the collection, I need to focus on what to keep, and I need to sell the rest. I need to keep the GOATs, major Hall of Famers. We're not talking, marginal guys. No Harold Baines. Some of the pitchers, the relief pitchers that have gotten in. I'm not really too big into keeping a lot of their stuff around, but things that are going to hold value for the future. Whether it's to pass down to my kids or to resell if I'm in a pinch in the future or as part of my retirement strategy. Who knows, right? I am a collector at heart, but I do also know that not everything is owned or is ours forever. We just possess it temporarily in this life. I'm going to continue to keep my complete sets. I am a set collector at heart. I do have a lot of complete sets and sets that I'm working on, and I find a lot of enjoyment in that. To me, it's very calming, very soothing. It's a little bit of a stress reliever. I don't know about you and how you feel about it, but love to be able to work on sets at the end of a work day and just kind of unwind and relax. Everything else goes. It's just got to go. I mean, that goes without saying. That's what this resolution's all about. Okay, so related to this, I need to reorganize my PC. And I realized this as I moved everything over. The way that I have collected historically is I work on sets first. Once I have a complete set, I still like to have all the Hall of Famers, all the rookie cards from a particular year, say 1980 Topps. So I'll have a binder that's got the 1985 Topps set in there. Love putting them in binders. You can flip through them. You're going to see some of these upcoming videos as I go through some of that, I think, on the channel. But the problem is, even though that's how I want to keep the cards, that's not how I've been storing and organizing the cards. And what I mean by that is I've got, 3,200, 5,000 row boxes full of sleeved, top-loaded cards, and they're all by year and by brand. So I'll have 81 Donruss, 81 Fleer, 81 Topps. The problem with that is, if I'm going to sell, I believe it's better to sell by player than by year. I think there are more player collectors in general in the hobby than there are set collectors. There are team collectors as well. Nothing wrong with that. That's a whole nother thing. I've actually been collecting a box of Reds cards, and I'll just sell that locally here in the market because I know there's a lot of Reds fans here and somebody would appreciate that. But in general, I need to go through the way that I've collected these cards, break everything out instead of by year and brand, doing it by player. That is going to take some time. We're talking tens of thousands of cards. But I think it's going to help me see what I need to keep, what I need to sell, what I have doubles on, and go from there. All right. Resolution number 3. Similar to one I had last year, but I'm going to be a little more specific this time around. Don't fall to the retail blaster ripping temptation. And you all know what I'm talking about. And let's be honest with ourselves. Here's what you're doing. You're playing the lottery. You're in a Walmart. You're in a Target. In the Midwest, you're at a Meijer. Wherever you may be, a Walgreens, getting some medicine, and there's some packs or a blaster. Guys, let me give you a piece of advice. It's a losing proposition. It's essentially like buying a scratch-off lottery ticket, and the house always wins. Why would I buy a 2025 Topps blaster box when at the end of the year I know I'm going to buy a complete set anyway and set it up on the shelf? The only reason I'd be buying those cards, even though I'm going to get them later, is if I was prospecting, which I'm not a prospector. And then 2, just to scratch the itch. Just to scratch the itch, man. I'm done. I'm not doing it. Hold me accountable here. If you see a pack battle where I'm doing some 2025 Topps product, reach through the interwebs and slap me upside the head. So you will see less pack battles. I enjoy opening packs with my son. I think if we do that, we may continue to rip a few older products for the channel. I do find that fun. It's nostalgic. It takes me back to my childhood, and I love having that quality time with my son. He's a Pokemon guy, but he loves to sit down with me, and we play bragging rights on who's going to win a particular pack battle. So you will see some. Don't want to disappoint completely, but you're not going to see new product being ripped, and that's our resolution number 3. All right, guys. I know this video is getting to be a little bit long. Thanks for hanging in there. And again, if you do like this content, smash that like button. If you just stumbled across this video, I would strongly encourage subscribe. Subscribe to the channel, follow me. I will be doing a pretty nice giveaway at 500 subs. I know that's a ways off, but hopefully it'll be here in 2025. That's the goal. Resolution number 4, more focused channel content. These resolutions, you can notice, are kind of flowing into each other a little bit. I'm going to do videos, guys, on things that I love, and I'm going to do content that I think is needed, lacking content. Things that the channel, I think, needs to focus on, because the broader community, I don't know, and again, nobody take this the wrong way. I love it all. I watch Scotty B. I watch Card Collector 2. I like the new stuff, just watching the videos, the guys that are into the shiny stuff. And I love the vintage guys, right? I mean, Baseball Collector, and there's so many great names out there in the community on the vintage side. Really get into all that. The 4 Collectors channel, I think, is great. Love that, find it highly entertaining. But all those guys and their channels, here's what I find. There's kind of a dichotomy, right? There's the new shiny, the chase card, the one of one type of guys, and then there's the vintage guys. And here's what I find. Again, love it. I love it all. I love the pre-war. I'm not knocking anybody in the way that they collect. But I find that the vintage content really, there's a little 50s and a little 60s, but most of it is pre-war. And I get the allure and the appeal of that, guys. I really do. But I am nostalgic at heart, and I grew up in the junk wax era. The first pack that I opened was in 1985. My aunt got it for me at a drugstore, basically, when she had us and my brothers out, one afternoon. I opened some 1986 packs. I opened a lot of 87, and that was my journey forward. I went through the entire junk wax era into the 90s up until about 95, 96, actually. And then I graduated high school in 1997, and didn't open any packs or didn't collect anything until about 2000, 2001. Took a little bit of a break during college. Got back into it. But I've been, I'm not one of these guys that walked away for 20, 30 years. I've got a lot of cards from a lot of years in my collection, but I feel like in general, and again, I love some feedback on this, so drop some comments down below. I believe that there's not enough focus on 1970s, 1980s, 1990s. And I really want to focus the channel on providing good information and good content really over those 3 decades. So many great cards, great inserts, rare inserts from the 1990s, some interesting sets that nobody really talks about that I personally love and enjoy, focusing on those. What I'd like to do this year as well is just kind of pick a year, say, from the junk wax era, and just kind of go through the cards, give an overview of the year, the product, the production notes, how many cards were produced, get into what are the more popular cards in that set, maybe some value on some of the graded cards, etc. If that sounds like a good idea to you guys, and if you think you would watch that content, just drop me a comment down below, because certainly I don't want to make videos that nobody wants to watch and nobody's interested in. But it's the kind of content I think that I'm interested in, and I have a feeling, I have a sneaking suspicion, I'm not the only one. So again, that's really kind of my hobby focus in general is, again, kind of those 3 decades, and I know everybody goes earlier or goes newer, but I'd like to really focus on that and provide some more focused and enjoyable content for you in 2025. All right, guys, we're down to the end of this, and I appreciate it. This one's a personal one again as well. A carryover halfway from last year, resolution number 5. Finishing the 1971 Topps Complete set. Did mention that earlier in the video. However, the second piece is I want to make sure that I don't forget about 1970. I don't love the design, but that'll give me the entire decade of the 1970s. I'm going to finish those 2 complete sets in 2025. Wish me luck. And again, thanks for watching this video, and be back soon with more great content.